It is my honor now to introduce retired Captain Sean Parnell. Sean was in combat with the 10th Mountain Division and is a veteran of 485 days of fierce fighting on the Afghan-Pakistan border. Wounded in action 3 times and knocked unconscious in a single firefight, one of Sean's troops stated, "Sean Parnell saved us all." Ladies and gentlemen, with great pride, I introduce Sean Parnell.
Thank you for that introduction. Makes me seem like I'm I guess a pretty tough guy, but were those cameras rolling when they running under my wife's flower umbrella on the way in here? I hope they weren't, because that might kill my reputation. So, two years ago this month, President Obama signed into law a bipartisan bill to fix the Department of Veterans Affairs. The president cited the horror stories about veterans being denied care, long wait times, fraudulent data reporting, and other examples of what he called inexcusable misconduct. The president promised it was time to change the way that the VA does business, yet after 2 years and tens of billions of dollars in additional taxpayer funding, the VA remains trapped in a cycle of dysfunction and abuse. We cannot continue to stand by and allow our veterans to receive poor service with delayed and denied care from the very system that was established to provide for them after their tours of duty. Now let's be clear. As a veteran of the United States Army, I turned to the VA after I returned from my service in Afghanistan in 2007. Now, I was deployed for 485 days. My platoon was almost overrun by Taliban insurgents that outnumbered us 10-1 on the battlefield. And really that deployment to Afghanistan was mired in 1,000 daily horrors that my men and I had to carry, and we carry with us to this day. And in many ways, I consider myself to be one of the lucky ones, because the service that I received at the Butler VA was timely and attentive. And for that, I'm deeply, deeply grateful. But I also recognize that that is not always the case. As a veterans advocate, I've heard the stories from countless veterans, thousands from across this country, and I know that far too many of my brothers and my sisters who have served in uniform, both in our recent conflicts and in the wars of earlier generations, are not receiving that same standard of care. We've all read the reports of VA failure over the last several years. Here in Pennsylvania, we've seen the media reports about how poor sanitation at the Pittsburgh VA system led to an outbreak of Legionnaire's disease. 6 veterans died and dozens more fell ill. The bipartisan Commission on Care, formed by Congress to recommend changes to the VA's health care programs, issued its final report this summer, stating that VA care suffers from profound deficiencies and inconsistency from one site to another. Now, it is indeed time to change the way the VA does business, particularly when it comes to health care. And that change begins with greater choice for our veterans in how and when and where they receive their treatment. You see, I think veterans should have the freedom to seek compensated care outside the VA system. That's a model that's worked for Medicare and TRICARE patients, and it will work for veterans as well. In fact, a nationwide poll of veterans conducted last year found that 88% of veterans believed that more choice in care should be a key priority. And secondly, we need greater accountability for workers in the VA system. Those employees and managers who fail to perform to the standard our veterans deserve should be held accountable. They need to understand that if you fail our veterans, then it's time you find a new line of work. And as any military veteran will tell you, accountability is critical to the success of any mission. People perform best when they know they will be rewarded for achievement or face consequences for failure. Moreover, accountability will strengthen the hand of the VA's most dedicated employees, of which there are a great many. These professional men and women who are committed to doing right by veterans deserve to be part of a high-performing organization focused on getting results rather than shielding poor performers. And based on what we've seen over the last 8 years, there's no reason to believe that Democratic leadership in Washington is going to change the way the VA does business. Now, it's past time for that change, which is why I'm so proud to stand with the Pennsylvania GOP and our new Veterans Coalition to signal our commitment to doing what's right for the veteran community. Thank you all for your time. God bless you, and God bless this great nation.